And speaking of Valentine's Day, it is today. All you married couples out there, when you say Happy Valentine's Day, you might want to add, and thanks for the tax break.
It's so romantic, isn't it? It's not just that our taxes can be lower. Married people tend to pay less than single people for a lot of things. Financial contributor Carmen Wong Ulrich is here to show us why. Good morning. It doesn't
Good
really
morning,
sound
ladies.
fair.
Well, listen, here's the deal, okay? Here's the big deal. We are turning into a single nation. For the first time, half of American adults are single.
Wow.
This is a huge, tremendous seismic shift. 114 million American adults. And this is not just young people. These are people who are divorced. Of all ages that are single. So in 2010, 48% of Americans are single. And in 1960, 2 generations ago, that number was 29%. Huge shift in what we're doing as a country.
So we could see the day, really, when the more singles outweigh the married people.
We are within that
like
day within a couple of years.
Wow.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the trend. And if you look especially at younger generations, they're just not as interested in being married. So it's a big shift.
So where though, but I was going to say, but there is still, even if we're moving towards that, there's still this inequity for all the people who are single out there. So where specifically are they, sort of getting the short end of the stick?
Well, here's the thing, and I address this in my book. It's about the real cost of being married, the real cost of being single. And here's the cost, especially when it comes to things like insurance, life insurance, auto insurance. You can pay anywhere from 10 to 50% more if you are single. And this is because the actuaries, they crunch their numbers and they see that married people are less likely to engage in risky behavior. So that's how they justify that extra cost. And then if you look at tax breaks, married folks who file jointly, especially if they have big economic income disparities, so one makes very little, one makes a lot, they get huge discounts. So about 50% of married couples pay a lot less in taxes than singles do.
Well, they think that marriage equals stability, and that certainly is not always true.
But definitely not.
But I love what happens. I know it's not true, but I know what I always think. What's happening? What's interesting? What happens at the workplace? When I was single, I did not think it was fair that I was asked to work longer hours, give up my vacation for the married people. But when I became married and had kids, I'd say, well, why don't you ask Erica to do it? She doesn't have
anybody to go home to, right?
I mean, it's interesting how your perspective changes.
It does change. It changes a lot. And actually, research was done that showed it's pretty drastic, especially when it comes to renting. We know the history of renting discrimination in this country. Here's the thing. Overwhelmingly, landlords prefer to rent to folks who are married. At about 80%, they would prefer, they chose married couples over even singles who are cohabitating. The fact that they were married meant they wanted to rent to them. And here's in the workplace, on average, married men controlling for education levels, controlling for experience levels, make around 29% more than single men.
Okay, so it is Valentine's Day.
Yes.
For anybody who may not have a Valentine or who may be single.
Here.
Give us the positive news to go out on, because as you said, the new normal really is being single, whether that's because of divorce, a choice, whatever it may be. Where's the upside for us?
All these discounts, it's going to have to catch up as the shift is, as the demographics are changing in terms of the marketing and the consumer angle. It's got to change. So are those actuarial tables going to hold in terms of giving this big discount? Probably not. And we are going to see in the next 10, 15 years a majority single America, and things are going to have to change that. And when it comes to discrimination, when it comes to the workplace, that's going to have to change too, because it's just going to have to.
All right. Carmen has spoken. Thank you.
Yeah, you got it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.